Okay, here we go. A lot of people still express interest in this car, so this is just an update video about it. The last video I made was in March about this 1988 Chevy Celebrity Eurosport. I hadn't quite finished the repairs yet, and it was getting ready to be stored again right after I made the video. Initially, there was a big snowstorm, and I just never made any other videos about it. But here it is today. It's just the interior. Just chilling in the AC. Thought I'd make a quick video about it, which will probably end up just more or less be me rambling, since I'm not very good at talking to the camera. In the time I've had it, I installed this very unusual telepath navigation radio, which I've made a video about and posted. It's a very good sounding radio. I upgraded to the full instrument so I could have the voltage and temp. It didn't originally come with that. The only thing that did change was the miles. You got to add 10,000 miles to that number, so this car has 107,000 on it now, give or take. It's an unusual base model. It has power windows, no power locks. The only window that doesn't work quite right is this one. It goes down, stops, give it a push, it'll go down the rest of the way. Same thing going up, it goes up. Set the camera down real quick so I can do this. Then it catches and it goes up the rest of the way. It's always been like that. There's a tooth stripped off the gear strip inside the regulator. That strip just needs to be replaced. All the other windows work. This one didn't work at all when I got the car. I was able to get it working just by taking the regulator apart and cleaning the motor. Had a little bit of dirt in it that was preventing it from working. This window works. Had the windows professionally tinted out. I think I already said it, but I completely replaced the air conditioning in this car. I had to put in a new compressor, new lines, new filter dryer, and I charged it with R152A or R152. I'm not sure if there's an A in it, but it doesn't really matter. It's still 152, which is also air duster. Works great in these old R12 systems, and it's far cheaper than trying to get R12. Got the 2.5 liter Iron Duke in it, which, despite what people say, is actually not a bad engine. This is the later model Iron Duke, so it's got a balancing shaft in it. So it's actually a lot smoother than the older version, pre-1987. This is an 88, so it's balanced. It's got a brand new water pump, brand new serpentine belt tensioner, and belt, brand spanking new EGR valve, new map sensor. See the air conditioner sweating its ass off today because it is actually quite hot today. This is the new compressor, my new refrigerant lines. The condenser and the evaporator are still original to the car, but they're in perfect condition. I changed out all the O-rings in the air conditioner. And I used ester oil since it's compatible with 152. Basically, whatever oil is compatible with R134A is compatible with R152. And R152 is much cheaper. I mean, look at that thing sweat. Wow. It's very humid today. Brand new front brakes, pads and rotors, used good quality Wagner pads. All brand new back brakes. I had the drums machine down, new shoes, hardware kit, and wheel cylinders. Also did a fluid change while I had it all apart. Car has brand new tires on it. The full tint job. This may not be legal for every state, but it is legal here. As you can see, the tint's a little bit lighter on the front than it is the back. That is legal around here, at least. I don't know, I can't speak for other states. Now, this car is an 88, so here it's emissions exempt. So the exhaust system is basically a straight pipe. It has a muffler, you can hear it, but the catalytic converter was plugged, so I took it off and it's just straight pipe, but it was professionally done, all welded up. So if this car was to ever go to an emissions area, it would have to have a catalytic converter put in it, but I guarantee with a new cat put in it, this car would pass emissions. This engine's running spot on. It had a full tune-up, new plugs, new wires, 2 new ignition coils, a new ICM, and a new crank sensor, just because those parts are so hard to reach, I don't want to have to touch them again. They're buried way down in there. Impossible to reach. But that's about it. There's still a few things that need to be done to it. One of the really big jobs that needs to be done is here. The dew strips are just pretty much broken and gone. They're all the way around, they're all cracked and broken. That happens. I don't know why. I guess it just depends on where the car was stored, I guess, because some cars still have them, some don't. The dew strips are in bad shape on this one. This was my fault. Gonna have a new windshield put in. That's gonna be $267 in the next couple weeks here. The guy who did Rusty's windshield over there is gonna come back and do the windshield on this as soon as I have the money. It's got small dents and dings in it. Look down the side, you can see them. They're not too bad. Body's straight. The underside of this car is exceptionally clean. Still haven't fixed that yet. I'm thinking about pulling it off, taking the heat gun to it to straighten it out. I just haven't done it yet. Beyond that, this is one fine car. This is the antenna to the GPS radio. It actually uses a legitimate GPS signal, but that's not what this video is about. I'll make a better video about it someday. But no, that's the summer update on my '88 Chevy Celebrity. I'm toying around with the idea of selling it. I may or may not. There's definitely a lot of interest. I've posted on Facebook about it, and my Facebook friends are definitely interested in it. My end goal would either be one of two things. A first generation 4-door Cavalier base model. I don't want a convertible, I don't want a 2-door. I don't want one with the V6, I don't want a ZX or a Z24, I don't want any of that. I want just the base model Cavalier like what I had when I was growing up. The car I basically grew up in. Or I would potentially sell it and buy a V6 Century Limited. Ideally I'd like to get a Buick Century with the 3.8 in it, but that's dreaming pretty big. That engine's pretty hard to find. In A-bodies, it wasn't a very common engine. I'd be happy if I could get one even with the carbureted 3.0 or the fuel-injected 2.8. Can't say I really want one with the carbureted 2.8, but depending on condition, I'd take it. I've never had an A-body car. There's not some modified form of a base model. Even this is even a base model, despite it being the Eurosport package. I've never had a higher end one. I'd like to. I'd like to have a car, one of my favorite A-bodies, comparable to my Cadillac in appointments. My other car is a '91 Cadillac Coupe de Ville. That thing's fully loaded. And then I get in this thing and it's like, oh, there's no cruise control, the seat's not as comfortable. I mean, yes, I am comparing a base model rental car to a, whatever, I think it was $32,000 in '91, $32,000 Cadillac. So there is a stark difference in the appointments of the cars. But it's fun to dream. I put a lot of hard work into this car, and I'm still putting hard work into it, and a fair amount of money. So if I was to get rid of this car, I definitely am not going to get rid of it for pittance, a rust bucket, accident damage. I don't want junk. I complaining about cars with no appointments, and here I am talking about wanting a base model Chevy Cavalier. But the exception to that is base model Chevy Cavaliers are near and dear to my heart. I was brought home when I was born in '86. I'm 32 years old, and my folks had an '87 Chevy Cavalier. I basically grew up watching the world go by from the backseat of that car on road trips. So those base model early Chevy Cavaliers are near and dear to me. They're just super duper hard to find, and when you do find them, they're either not running, something's majorly wrong with them, or just like, even like these, they're just so rusted out. But nope, that's my long-winded update on my 1988 Chevrolet Celebrity Eurosport base model. And the reason it's a base model, wrap this video up with this, is because it started its life as a rental. And here's the proof. There's how I know it was a rental car. This car's life spent 90% of its life in Columbia, South Carolina. Title even says previously titled in South Carolina. And here you go. Anyway, that's it, guys. Take care.